Chiloquin High School, about $2.3 million in projects to be completed with the bond, including finishing the roof replacement, upgrading the heating system, replacement of single pane windows and single pane aluminum siding wall systems, floor replacements, lighting upgrade. Again, projects designed to get us more energy efficient and significant cost savings. We reinforced the roof on the part that we've already completed to be able to withstand the snow load. Because you can get a foot and a half of snow up there. Here's this part of the building had the heating system upgrade, so that's what this looks like.
And lights.
And lights. But this would all be floor replacement. We talk about all this coming out. Wall, double pane windows were covered, and then if you'll notice here, Joe, because of the old construction, you had a lot of condensation inside the building that came down and affected the floor. When we replaced the walls, we had dry rot, and you can notice they came back about, what, 3 or 4 feet to address dry rot issues when we reconstructed the walls.
They came back 6 feet.
Is that 6 feet? Okay.
See the contrast.
Yeah. But that was to address dry rot issues associated with the original walls. I can tell you this, these lights have been here since at least 1976.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But look at them. And these would be, as part of the lighting upgrade, these would be replaced. About 4 years ago, we did this wing with the walls, windows, heat system, and you can see that the difference between there and here's the original walls. And those are single pane aluminum siding and windows. So what our goal would be in this project would be to do the rest of the building in this similar type construction that we did on these 2 wings.
Doug Wilson, the principal at Chiloquin Junior Senior High School. I think that in terms of the difference in what's happened in our building from the new construction that we have in a couple of wings compared to what it used to be like, it's made a huge difference. Although we're looking at huge energy savings as a result of new heating and cooling systems. But the big difference is that the climate in the classroom, the classrooms themselves now are temperature controlled, and it makes a huge difference in terms of what goes on. Prior to the new construction, we would, many times the classrooms, when it's 10 degrees below zero, we'd have ice on the windows and the condensation would freeze and the classrooms would be very cold. And in the fall and in the spring, they would be interior because the condensation would freeze on the inside. The other extremes that we had would be in the fall and in the spring, that in the afternoon, if it gets to be 75 or 80 degrees out, our classrooms would be above 90 degrees. And it became very difficult for kids to focus on education. So the new construction that we have in the 2 wings has made a huge difference in terms of being able to have kids be able to concentrate on academic matters throughout the day. The improvements that we see are primarily in the afternoon. We see kids continuing to be able to focus, where prior to that they didn't. In terms of academically, those classes in the afternoon, kids usually struggled, failing, things like that. And so we've seen a vast improvement in terms of what happens in the afternoon in grades. Well, what we're looking for is the rest of our building. We still have a wing that's out over this way, and maybe we can take a look at it later. You can see how poorly the construction is over on the other side of our building. And then in our gym area, music room area, our technical education area, if we can get those, because that's the component piece, would be the improvement in the walls, in the construction, in those areas. But then we're also looking at replacing a lot of the floors as a part of the whole process. And right now you can, some of our breezeways that we have that maybe you'll walk through here, you'll see where the floors are coming up along the edges. And there are times that we've even had to cut the grass that grows up underneath.
This is what these other wings looked like.
So I don't know.
Look at it. See, you getting that? Right here on this. Oh, look at this.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, talk a little bit about the difference just in indoor air quality learning environment in this wing and that wing as opposed to here. It's night and day.
It is night and day.
It's night and day.
Well, these classrooms, yeah, the same kind of thing. When we had failure with our heating system, and we don't have, none of the thermostats work in the building, the old thermostats, and so it's either on or off. We had to put manual switches on all of the radiator heating units in the classroom so that we could flip on the fans and turn them off. And that's the only regulation we have.
There's the new boilers. The propane boiler right there. I can't remember what our savings is going from diesel to propane, but it's significant and a very short payback to pay for that boiler. I think a couple-year payback on that boiler. But they're much smaller, much easier to maintain, and much more efficient. Inside it just runs right down and comes on top.
None of this. Money to fix the school. Have people come in with weird cameras.
When they did the construction out front, and then we decided we were going to do some kind of remodeling in our office area, when they started dealing with the floor in my office, they had to remove half the floor because of the mold. It wasn't necessarily just dry rot, it was just mold that was growing underneath the edge. And they included, in this area you can see behind us in this courtyard, they put some drainage in this area because we used to have water that would run off, and it would just have standing water up along that wall over there, on that side of the building right over there. And that's where my office is over there. Part of the problem, the condensation led to a lot of moldy issues.
Well, when it's cold down here, you got these heat registers that don't work. You walk through this hallway and you got single pane, no insulation on both sides.
This is the coldest place in our building when it's cold out.
Got it. It's a good learning environment, but it's not the thing. It's